Hi, welcome to This Week in News. This is a new news program designed for people who actually don't like watching the news. They don't like reading it, they don't like watching it on TV, they don't even surf the news on the internet. So why are you watching this show? Well, the design of this show is to capture all the highlights of the news from national news, world news, and put it in a nice small container for you so that if you're out eating dinner, let's say with friends or family, and they're talking about current events, you're not left in the dust. Okay, so let's give this a try. Today is January 27th, 2008, and this week in news. In national news, the big news in national news is politics. The Democrats and Republicans are both fighting it out in the primaries to see who's going to win the right to run for president. In the Democrats yesterday had a primary in South Carolina, and Obama won pretty handily, and that puts Obama in the lead, but Hillary Clinton's not too far behind. But a pretty distant third is Edwards, who is still in it, but doesn't look like he's going to win the nomination. The Republicans are waiting for this Tuesday, which is the primaries in Florida for both actually the Republicans and the Democrats. Right now, Mitt Romney is in the lead, but McCain is actually gaining a lot of ground, and Huckabee is still in it. Now, a name that you might expect to have heard, but haven't heard a lot of recently, is Rudy Giuliani. So what's going on with him? Actually, his strategy has been to wait for this Tuesday, which again is the primaries in Florida. And his strategy was to hopefully win Florida and gains a lot of steam from Florida. Florida is considered a very important state. As you may remember, 8 years ago, Florida was the state in contention when Bush first came into presidency. So look for that on Tuesday. In other national news is the economy. Now, a lot of people feel like it's inevitable now that the United States is going to be in a recession. And the stock market was heavily up and down this week. Actually, to try to head off the recession, the Federal Reserve, which is the central bank of the United States, cut interest rates by 0.75%, which is a pretty big cut and also rather unexpected. Some people think it even kind of smelled of some panic. But it seemed to have helped a little bit, and stocks were up pretty much for the rest of the week. But Bush and Congress right now are very worried about the economy, and they're trying to put together an economic stimulus plan, and it's almost finalized. What it's going to mean to you basically is a $600 kind of rebate check and per individual, and therefore $1,200 if you're married, and actually for each child there's an additional $300 that you'll be getting back. Look for that to be maybe finalized this week, but you're not really going to get your rebate check for quite a while. The first rebate checks will probably be sent out in May and possibly through July, so you won't get that money back anytime soon. But look for actually more news on this tomorrow when Bush delivers his State of the Union address at 9 o'clock. So all the TV stations are going to be delivering that to you. In other national news, Miss Michigan won the Miss America pageant, if you're interested, yesterday. Going on to world news now. Actually, there wasn't much that happened in world news, to be honest. So, you know, there's a couple of small stories, but I don't think that's important enough for you guys to know. So I'm going to move on to sports news. In sports news, in tennis, the Australian Open was the past 2 weeks. On the women's side, Maria Sharapova won her first Australian Open. This was her third Grand Slam win. And on the men's side, Djokovic won his first Grand Slam. The other big sporting news is football. There's no football games this week because it's an off week. Next Sunday, which is February 3rd, is the Super Bowl. Again, this is the biggest sporting event of the year. It's also the biggest televised event of the year. And in the Super Bowl, it's going to be the New York Giants against the New England Patriots. What you also might want to know about this key matchup is that the New England Patriots so far are 18-0. They're having an undefeated season, and no team has ever gone 19-0 in a full football season before. So they're expected to win. So there's a lot of pressure on the New England Patriots this coming Sunday. So again, it's going to be February 3rd, 6:30 on Fox. So look out for that. In entertainment news this week, Heath Ledger passed away. Heath Ledger, you might remember him from Brokeback Mountain. He also just recently filmed the new Batman movie, The Dark Knight, and he's going to be playing the Joker. He was found in his New York apartment, kind of face down. Autopsy reports so far are inconclusive. They think it might have been a drug overdose, as they also found 6 different prescription pills in his apartment. So I'll let you know the results of that maybe next week. Something else to look out for, the Screen Actors Guild Awards are tonight. Usually the Screen Actors Guild Awards don't get too much publicity, but one of the main reasons why they may get some more publicity this year is that the writers' strike is still going on. And so we didn't have a Golden Globes, we may not even have a real Oscars, so this might be the biggest event of the award season this time around. So that's tonight. I think it's going to be on TNT and TBS starting at 8 o'clock. The Oscar nominees were also announced this week. For Best Picture, the Oscar nominations were Atonement, Juno, Michael Clayton, No Country for Old Men, and There Will Be Blood. So you have some time to catch up on those movies if you haven't seen them before. Well, that's pretty much for this week. I hope you enjoyed the episode. We're also going to be accepting actually emails. You can email me at thisweekinnews@gmail.com. That's thisweekinnews, all one word, @gmail.com. And you could write in any questions that you may have that you feel are kind of too stupid to ask other people and just not important enough to look up. You can email me those questions and I'll be happy to answer them for you. All right, take care. Have a good week.